Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brian with HappyThumbsGaming, and we are back again with some more LEGO DC Supervillains. That's right, this is level 12, the one with the T-Rex mech. Duh. Free play! Not really duh, I just had to throw that in there, I guess. Feeling a little bit wonky as we go through and grab all these collectibles, including all 5 Minikits, that character token, the DC Captions red brick. We only get 2 of the 4 gold bricks because we actually got the true villain in our story attempt. So, hey, quick reminder, we do have quick links down below in the video description, so if you're in a hurry, and I have a feeling at one point or another you're going to want to use those quick links because there's a couple of big breaks in between. But hey, when you're ready to go ahead and get to getting, let's load up our map, toggle over to level select, and of course choose level 12, the one with the T-Rex mech. Free play! And load right in. Now, as per usual, we have removed all of the main cutscenes and, of course, sped this video up ever so slightly just to go ahead and get through it a wee bit quicker. And, you know, there's probably some bits here that you could skip as far as the story goes, but we kind of got caught up in some of it. And some of it you cannot skip because the story depends on it. So, all right, right as we gain control, we're going to kind of come towards the front side of your screen and head off to the left. You'll notice a stream. On the back side of the stream, you're going to see some silver bricks. Pull out your favorite silver brick breaker and go ahead and turf one of them exploding nades on there and watch the ships come floating down. Now, that guy, I don't know how he avoided that waterfall there, but good thing. Oh, wait a minute, not a good thing. I probably would have taken my chances off the fall there because it does not look like he survived that. This is awkward, too. We build a unicorn horn? Oh, my goodness. It reminds me of the old Squatty Potty. Not to take anybody to that, but everybody eats unicorn. Everybody eats ice cream. Oh, my goodness. I am stumbling and fumbling already. So, hey, in order to keep on keeping on, we need to advance across the way here. To do that, we're going to go ahead and smash, scan, and boom this little area over here, which is going to give us some bricks to build up into a spinny wheel. So go ahead and spin to win and watch the old, I guess it's the scales start tipping, and we have access to get across. Now we're going to build that up, and then we're going to use our power of flight to go ahead and get across. And once we do, we're actually going to find out that there is a spot with some question marks. It's a clue. That's right. I totally got a clue. Nobody, I don't think anybody's actually referenced that yet. That's from a couple, well, a specific episode of a show from a while back, but anyways, not important. Once we get across, we're going to go ahead and use somebody with the tracking ability like Cheetah to go ahead and get that tracking on. Look at this. She's going to actually follow it all the way over to the left side. That was a little weird. She was getting a little too close to the back side of old Cyborg there. Anyway, moving along, we'll go ahead and pick up that there Minikit that we dug up from the ground. And now there's a few little kiosks there that I guess we probably didn't need to destroy. We already have the true villain for this, but that is a 180k requirement. I am guessing that you're probably going to get a lot more than that, especially if you've been following along and you have the 2X and the Attract Studs red bricks activated and turned on. So you can see we've already got almost the stud requirement, and we have literally barely been doing any stud hunting. So look at here, we've got this broken bridge here. Now, although it kind of alludes to the fact that there is a rope there, we're not going to use that. We're just going to fly across, and oh, we've got ourselves a ringing puzzle. You know, luckily for me, I learned the hard way before that you want to use a character with the targeting ability, somebody like Batman or Cyborg, and you can go ahead and target the notes that need to be played. Now, you can see each one of these bells has a rope that has a color to it. There's a green, a red, and a blue. On the ground, there are little notes that pop up with the color that you need to ring. And look at that. I actually targeted the wrong one, but I was smart enough to actually switch to my other character and then back before it actually shot and ruined my momentum there. As you guys know, I'm pretty bad about that stuff sometimes. So we got that red brick for the DC Captions, though. I'm assuming that's the Pow Bang Booms. I actually haven't even attempted to turn that on. And I will say, too, that, you know, although I skip this next little section right here, I don't complete this puzzle. As you can see, I fly over. I definitely recommend doing that because you can actually be a little bit more efficient than I am if you would have just finished that before you came across. Because now I got to fly back over there and then finish it and come back here in a wee bit. And it takes me a minute to figure that out, too. See, like right now, I should have just switched to a gold melter with heat ray. And then we'll go ahead and, but no, I'm flying up, and away because there's a poster of a house. So we'll go ahead and drop in and switch to a character with the abilities, which, you know, I was thinking that Lex was one of the guys, but it's not. It's the Riddler. Brain fart. Anyways, moving along, we'll go ahead and spray up. Oh, Wonder Woman. That's not very nice. It's all good, though. Somebody will come and clean that up, I assume. It's not going to be me. As soon as we get this, though, we'll go ahead and watch that get checked off, and then we'll drop down to the left-hand side. Now, there's a couple of baddies waiting down here. We'll take them out and then move to the back. Now, I'm using the toggle option again, which is using one of the, the upper buttons on the controller, rather than using the character select, and I am not having any luck with a character that can go, oh, so small, in through the grate. So I switch on over to Clayface, but unfortunately, I toggled to the wrong version of him. So, insert fail music here. Fail. All right, we've got finally the right character to slide on through, and look at that, we've got a Minikit. Oh, and it opens the door too, and it kind of caught me by surprise. Now, this was kind of a tough decision for me. As you noticed, Thumby popped up and recommended that you use the quick links next, and you're probably going to want to do that for Minikit number 4, as it's a long time. And when I say a long time, I mean like 6 minutes. That's right. So the decision that had to be made was, do I remove a section of the level that had no collectibles, or do I leave that? Now, you guys have been hearing me talk about the poll that we've been running on Facebook regarding save and exit versus completing the levels once we have the free plays done. Now, just based on your feedback, which it's still neck and neck, it's like 47 to 53. I mean, it's really close on what you guys are wanting. So I don't know, it's making it really tough for us to make a decision. But that being said, we really recommend that for this particular moment that you use those quick links unless you're stuck and you're not sure what to do next. However, I've already kind of told you, you got to fly across to the other side and complete that part of the puzzle where you have to put together the catapult. It's the old, what do they call it, a trebuchet? Isn't that how you say it? But yeah, so anyways, that being said, all of that, your votes that have been casted make me feel like you guys, had I have asked you guys if I should edit that section out or not, that you guys would have wanted it. And it's kind of a funny one too, because we get to mess with Vermin Wunderbar and Granny Goodness. I don't know why I have so much fun just saying Wunderbar, but it is. You should try it if you haven't already. And you got to add a little bit of flair to it too, an accent, if you will. And of course, not hating or making fun of anybody. It's just literally one fun thing to say. So, all right, we have officially melted down that other weapons barrel and put together what was a push switch that we pushed the one part of the cart into the other one. And eventually we gave ourselves a grapple plug. So we went ahead and grappled that on down. Now we got to switch to Harley, and she will take it from here as she goes flying through the air with her giant mallet and rings that gong. That's right. So we've officially got that big apparatus out of the way, and it has given us the big switch button press there, which now we have access to get inside of the Coliseum. That's what this is. Oh, psych, fooled you. You actually have to use some of the explodey paint first. But then we will have access inside here, and we will get to go take on old Vermin Wunderbar. Oh, there he is. Look at him. Look, he's such a handsome young lad, isn't he? And then you've got Granny Goodness, who is like super large and in charge. I do like her gold-plated, or are those jeggings? They look kind of like legging. I don't know what they are. But anyways, we've got a bunch of chaos that ensues as soon as Vermin releases his minions on us. The goal here is to take down his heart meter as quickly as possible. Now, they send in pretty much an endless sea of bad guys, and we're going to try to avoid those as best as possible. However, this is where we got our stud multiplier going in the story, and we're able to get that true villain requirement. So if you're trying to stack up studs, or perhaps maybe you don't have it yet, this is a good opportunity to get that up. You can see we got a 3x, and we're literally not even trying. We're just trying to get to old Vermin, which is, he's hanging out on the other side over there. And I will say, the circular battle zones, I am not a fan of. And it's mainly because it makes me nauseous. The camera angles, the way that the camera automatically spins, I get it. It's supposed to focus on what's going on, and that's super helpful if that's what you're trying to do. But if you're trying to get like Vermin in the background or something, then it's not helpful at all. But we definitely depleted his meter, and now we've got to take on old Granny. I am taking advantage of my granadas here. As you can see, I'm tossing them up, They're not doing any damage until she's on the ground, but they are blowing up others. So definitely recommend if you got somebody out with some grenadeage, throw them, gets to turfing. Look at me, I'm just like, it's like a juggling spree here. I definitely am winning. I don't know, am I winning or am I losing? I haven't figured that out yet. But essentially, we can do damage from afar with these, and if you get enough of them tossed out, they may do rapid damage. So look at that, we got 2 hearts left. And again, this is one of those moments that, you know, I probably would have preferred to remove this, but you know, at the same time, you guys may have needed a couple of tips on how to take these guys down, and maybe not. Pretty easy. You just got to get up close personal and spam them buttons. As we move along, though, we find ourselves in this nice new area. We're going to go ahead and smash both of these giant gongs on either side of the door, which is going to give us some bricks to build into a cosmic treadmill, if memory serves me correctly. And once we get that up, we'll go ahead and use it to build, well, collect some bricks that we can build into some sort of apparatus that will help us move the old school lift, or elevator, if you will, to get up top. Now, I might have been able to avoid all of this by just simply flying up top, but this level's been sort of dependent on the story elements, so I just, rather than get caught up and waste any more time, I figured I'd just go ahead and get it out of the way. Now, you know, one thing I am surprised about, the developers, you know, the list for trophy achievements, I don't want to call it lazy, but I mean, like, for example, they didn't require us to purchase all the red bricks. That's kind of weird. Now, there's a handful of trophy achievements that, like most Lego games, they have, like, you know, have this character and that character out at the same time. Now, I get that that's kind of like some Easter egg stuff at times where you, like, have, like, two enemies that are, or 2 versions of the same character, for example. That's happened before, too. I understand that, but those are kind of, again, I don't want to call them lazy, but I just feel like we could have done better. And I feel like, you know, kind of challenge-based trophy achievements are maybe better than just the Easter egg ones at times. Like for example, the speed zone. Getting through the speed zone without taking any damage from those boulders. That would have been kind of a challenge. I don't think I've done it yet, and I've gone through like probably 15 or 20 of those speed zones. So, you know, something like that. But again, on the flip side of things, I shouldn't be complaining because there's pretty easy trophy achievement lists out there for the last 3 or 4 Lego games. The Platinum, if you're on the PlayStation, pretty easy. But anyhow, moving along from my complaints there, we're up top. We've got a whole bunch of ninjas trying to take us down. And look at that. I get my block knocked off, and then Superman there just gives him the old kapow. That's pretty funny. All right, we're going to switch to the Mirror Master. Even though the game always recommends we use the reverse flash, the Mirror Master is actually a little easier. I've never failed with him, where I fail all the time with the reverse flash. So once you shatter that glass, you go ahead and use some telekinesis to, I don't know what, they spun that around and it opened the door up and a bunch more bad guys come out. So the good news is, though, there is a Minikit back there, too. Unfortunately, we are too large and in charge to get back there, so we have to switch to somebody else to sneak in there. Luckily for us, it was Superman, as now we need to take out 4 lanterns that are kind of scattered out over the next, I don't know, couple of minutes here. The first one is going to be above the door that you need to use the explodey paint on down below here, which we will do in just a hot second. We got a couple bad guys. Oh, yeah, and what's going on here? All right, I am not a fan of this. How come these guys are invincible and never stop flopping? Like, look at this guy. I mean, seriously, by now, he should be vomiting all over the place. I mean, I'm not trying to call him out, but I mean, seriously, I don't, We got him frozen, though. We bought ourselves a few seconds. Now he's back at it. Unfortunately, those explodey pies don't do any good, but I go ahead and take on the explodey paint wall, and booyakashow, it is done, dealt with. We can go ahead and sneak in through there and smash everything. This time, though, I'm pretty sure I planted, I think I blow him up. Come on, pow. Oh, that's right. I gave him the old pow right in the kiss. I love that, the old jack in the crack. All right, so we go ahead and build up. Ooh, it's a targeting pad. Now, we're going to go ahead and try to skip this, but like I said earlier, this game is this level, I should say, is super dependent on completing the story-based elements. So we go ahead and do what it wants us to do. We'll shoot that boyakashow. Now we can go ahead and drop down. And we have access, which should be to the lower level and perhaps maybe the first little bridge. Yes, it is. We just got to make our way out there. We get attacked again. Boy, there seems to be a never-ending supply of bad guys. You know, I always wondered that in movies and such. Like how do these guys all get recruited? I mean, you know, I get it. There's some people that are loyal. They like, you know, what the main leaders or the bad guys stand for or whatever. But like, seriously, how do they get these people to be so loyal and so willing to put everything on the line? Hold that thought, though, as we're going to go ahead and jump up above. Before crossing the first bridge, you're going to want to nail that lantern that's up there. And once you cross the first bridge, and before you build up the second kind of makeshift bridge, you're going to want to get the third one. Now, the fourth and final one isn't till we get the last bridge built and we get all the way in. It kind of looks like the Bat Cave. It's not, though. It's some sort of giant cave, and we have a bat wing in there. So I'm trying to skip all this and fly, but there's these invisible walls that are preventing that. So I got to complete this whole section here. Now, if you're using the quick links down below, although we have the on-screen notes, it actually will take you right to the quick link, or to the actual point of where we get the lantern, so you can actually see where it is. If you're in a hurry. I mean, if you're not, let's hang out. Let's see what's going on. Now, I'm going to skip this. Look at me. I'm such a lazy guy. I should have just threw out my chattery teeth and exploded the silver bits, but I flew up there instead. I don't know why I thought that'd be faster, but hey, it works regardless of how you get it down. Go ahead and build up those pieces on the ground, and this is that makeshift bridge I was talking about a minute ago. So we are officially almost to the final piece, or the final lantern, I should say, the final piece of this mini kit, and that'll be it other than the character token. So we'll grab that, and then there's a little bit of a battle that I have to finish off with that T-Rex mech. But that's only because you guys have kind of been opting for me to complete the level. So it's crazy how, I mean, like, I'm serious. Like, you guys have been voted. There's over 270 votes as of this recording. And, you know, you guys are neck and neck with what you guys want. That's craziness. All right, hey, check this out. We have got the final lantern right there in front of us before crossing this little plank to get across. Definitely take that lantern out. Now throw some silver explodies out there and go ahead and reveal a Batarang terminal. Oh, now I'm switching back. No, musical characters. All right, we'll finally get it right. And that was just, so sometimes I press and hold the button and it acts as though I tapped it. And I'm not sure why that is. Probably user error, probably something on my end. But all right, so we've used the Batarang terminal. It has dropped the bat wing and now it's out there floating. We're going to go ahead and make sure we get that purple in the back there, as we got a multiplier, and it's pretty easy to grab with our Attract Studs red brick on. Once we get across, it takes us to a miniature cutscene and then immediately drops us into a battlefield with Kalibak and his big T-Rex mech. Now, the trophy achievement guide for the listing on this character token reads that as you walk around the edges of the fighting area, you'll come across some dirt in the ground. Grow a plant to reveal the token. So what we need to do is just find that little spot. And you know, I went to the right, and I'm not sure that was the best way to go. I feel like I'd go all the way around, or at least to the halfway point. But you just keep on keeping on, and I promise you will find it. You really can't miss it as long as you stay along the edge, and there it is. So at least at the halfway point, if not a full circle. So my advice would be maybe to start, when you start, go left, not right. Switch to somebody like Poison Ivy, though, once you find it, and go ahead and get your Plantanesis, or Chlorokinesis is what they call it. And then go ahead and swoop up that token. It's important that you grab that, because the last thing you want to do is have to come back and replay some of this stuff. However, if that is the case, like if you totally have a brain fart like that and forget it, it is possible to go ahead and load into Area 4 when you're choosing from the free play level and which section to load into. So just a little tipper there. That being said, though, we have all the collectibles for this particular level, and if you're one of those save and exit guys, you probably already left and are missing out on this glorious commentary. No, I'm just kidding. Sometimes I bore myself to sleep, and to be completely honest with you, I feel like my creativity gets into kind of repeat mode if I do more than like 2 or 3 videos in one given day, especially if they're longer, like this one. This one's like 20-something minutes long, and there's a lot of like downtime in between. If I'm just literally play-by-playing it and calling it like I see it and explaining how I'm doing it, that's easier to do for those longer ones. But when there's this downtime, like right now, and I gotta try to, you know, be entertaining, sometimes I fail at that, especially if it's been a long day and I've already kind of exerted a lot of my awesomeness, if you will. I don't know if that's what you guys refer to it as, but I know I do. I'm sure the wife would refer to it as like my annoyingness, something like that. But all right, we have officially knocked Kalibak off the T-Rex and have gained control of it for a hot second there. We actually got knocked back off, though, and unfortunately he is back in control For me, I find it really nice to just go ahead and avoid his ground pounds, and then if you can, try to avoid the bad guys. I keep getting caught up and attacking them, but you really want to attack the T-Rex. However, I just gave a couple of pows right there, and it didn't do any damage. There we go. So definitely get up close and personal. If you got grenades, maybe toss some of those out there, but go ahead and deplete that meter till he's all gone. And we've got this little selfie moment here. Look at me. Oh yeah. I should have used that for the thumbnail, or did I? We'll have to wait and see. I guess you've probably already seen it. I actually captured a few shots. Every level I captured 3 or 4 different images, and then I bring them into Photoshop and I decide like which one is going to work best with the layout and the other on-screen icons and Thumby, of course. You got to put Thumby in there. So. And hey, remember I was telling you don't worry about getting that stud requirement, that we'd have plenty? Even if you don't got the 2X. I mean, think about that. You cut that right in half, and we still got paid. We got 180K is our requirement, and we are at 560 plus. Woo to the who! And look at that, we got telekinesis now for our guy. Now, one thing I didn't know is you could actually remove certain abilities. I was told that by one of you guys in the comments. So go ahead and get your roll on, and guess what? We're gonna roll on out of here. That's right, the one with the T-Rex Mech free play is officially complete. We've got to go ahead and collect all them studs. In fact, we got a lot. This is the most we've had so far, and I don't think we're gonna buy any more red bricks. Maybe at all. I mean, you know what? Maybe we'll do that in the showcase for the character purchasing. Would you guys like to see that? Let me know down below if you want me to save those. I might grab like the 4X or something just to make it like super easy to get all the true villains, because a couple of them have been a little bit of a grind still. But, all right, we got that red brick for the DC Captions. We got all of the Minikits, of course. We also got that character token and the poster location. Because we got the true villain in the story mode, we're only collecting 2 of the gold bricks this time, which is, if you notice that on the thumbnail or perhaps at the beginning in the intro screen, that is why. But we should be back in action to getting all 3 of the remaining ones on the final last levels. In fact, we're kind of in the home stretch as far as the actual story goes. There are 5 more levels after that, so currently we're getting there, but not quite. But that's going to wrap it up for LEGO DC Supervillains Level 12, the one with the T-Rex Mech free play. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully I didn't bore you to sleep with my yapping flapper. But, oh to the yeah, that's going to do it for me. As always, until next time. You thought I forgot, didn't you? So yeah.